There's an epidemic occurring in America right now, and it's affecting all genders, races, ages. And this illness is called obesity. Every year, more and more Americans are becoming obese, and it's really becoming a problem. So I'm here to talk about the issues surrounding obesity, the causes, and what you can do to counteract it. I received my bachelor's degree in psychology at Creighton University with a biology minor. I focused my studies toward a medical career, and I'm going to be going to a physician assistant school this summer, so I'm here to kind of explain the medical behind the obesity problem and how to counteract it, specifically the importance of reading food labels and understanding them in order to ensure that you're getting a good, balanced, healthy diet. After listening to the speech today, hopefully you'll understand the issues surrounding it, especially the health issues that go along with obesity. So to start, I'm going to talk a little bit about obesity in America. Over 1/3 of the adults in the United States are considered obese. This is based on the body mass index, which takes into consideration your height, your weight, and your age. And it's actually 35.7% of United States adults. And this is according to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. The health problems that are associated with obesity are things like heart issues, stroke, type 2 diabetes, osteoarthritis, which is pain in the joints, hypertension, sleep apnea, and other respiratory issues, and even some cancers, specifically endometrial cancer, colon cancer, and breast cancer. And there's also an issue with medical costs. That in 2008, the medical costs associated with obesity were around $147 billion, which ended up being about $1,400 more for an obese patient as compared to a normal weight patient. So the obesity is making medical costs and treatment a little bit more expensive. So one of the big issues with obesity is that you need to make sure you're getting a good diet and exercise. And it's really difficult in the United States because there's a lot of fast foods, and really easily accessible foods in the United States are not very good for you. And then foods that appear to be healthy actually aren't. So I'm here to give you a few examples of those. To start off, Naked Juice. They appear very healthy. They have a lot of fruits and vegetables in them, so you think, oh, it's great. They advertise things like no added sugar, it's boosted with vitamins and minerals, which is all very good. But the problem with Naked Juice is that it has a lot of calories and sugar in it. And you can get your vitamins other ways that don't require as many calories and sugar. So for instance, here's one of their common flavors, the Blue Machine. It has 27 blueberries in it, 3 blackberries, 3 1/4 apples, and 1 banana. And a lot of critics say that, with Naked Juice, say that you just don't need that much fruit in one day. It's just too many vitamins, too many minerals. Your body can't process those, they're just eliminating them. And by ingesting that in one bottle, which is one average size bottle, you're getting 340 calories and 58 grams of sugar, which is way too much. Especially when people don't think that it's that many calories, so they're just drinking it as a little supplement, and then in addition, they're having a regular meal, and it's just too many calories, too much sugar. Pepsi is the people who make this product. So if you compare it to the regular can of Pepsi, same size and everything, it's only 200 calories, and it's 55 grams of sugar. So it's less sugar and less calories than a can of soda pop as compared to one of these Naked Juices. So you might as well drink one of these and then take like a vitamin supplement and be healthier than drinking a Naked Juice. They also have a new product out right now called Pepsi Next. For that same 16 fluid ounce size, there's only 80 calories and 20 grams of sugar, so it's an even better option. Another thing to look at is gluten-free products. There's a lot of buzz right now about gluten-free things and how healthy it is for you, but it's not necessarily healthy. Gluten is a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye, and a lot of people have like a sensitivity to it, or even worse, the celiac disease, which is complete intolerance to gluten. It causes problems like bloating and diarrhea and constipation, cramping. And what basically is happening is gluten is gradually damaging the intestine so that it can no longer absorb the vitamins and minerals that you're supposed to be getting from the food. So obviously if you have a gluten sensitivity, you don't want to be eating gluten, but according to Dee Sandquist, which is a registered dietitian, there's nothing inherently healthier about eating a gluten-free diet. Specifically, a lot of the products that are gluten-free, they add a lot of extra sugar and fat in them to kind of simulate the gluten, the texture, the fluffiness that gluten provides. You're also not getting the iron, the B vitamins, and vitamin D that is contained in the normal bread with the gluten. It usually goes through some kind of refinement process and it loses all those nutrients. So you don't necessarily want to be looking for gluten-free products if you don't need to have gluten-free. That being said, if you do need a gluten-free product, you should really talk to a registered dietitian and talk about what areas you should be eating and what you should be getting, what you shouldn't be eating. You want to eat more fruits and veggies and lean meat, and you also want to be eating more natural gluten-free products like brown rice or buckwheat, rather than buying prepackaged gluten-free products, because those are the ones that usually have the added sugar and fat in it. Another thing is the multigrain. Whole grain is definitely a lot better than multigrain. You hear multigrain, a lot of people assume, oh, it must be healthier, but it isn't necessarily. Whole grain means that all parts of the grain kernel are being used. So the bran, the germ, and the endospore are all being used in providing that whole grain. With multigrain, different grains are being used, but not necessarily all of the grains being used for those different grains. So there are three main reasons why whole grain is better than multigrain. First being that whole grain contains more essential nutrients. It has the fiber and the other healthy parts of the plants that are found naturally in the whole grain. But with multigrain, it lacks a lot of that. After the refinement process, it loses a lot of its nutrients. You're not getting the nutrients you need. If you do have a multigrain product, if you looked at the ingredients, and one of the first things they list is a whole grain of some sort, like whole wheat, then multigrain is fine. But in a lot of the cases, it doesn't do that. That's why you really need to look at those labels, look at the ingredients. Another reason is that whole grain takes longer to get absorbed into the body, which means that your sugar and your insulin levels are going to stay low for a longer period of time. With multigrain, it absorbs much quicker, so your insulin levels spike, which is a potential for causing diabetes. So you definitely want to go with whole grain in that instance. The third reason being that whole grains are a great source of complex carbohydrates. So when you need a lot of energy, you want to be eating whole grains that provide the energy that you need. Multigrain, it gets absorbed quicker, it has simple carbohydrates, so it gets turned into glucose a lot faster, so you don't have that energy that you need for physical activities. There's a few other examples of things. Gatorade, it's good for you if you're doing a lot of physical activity where you need a lot of energy, but it has a lot of sugar and calories in it. So if you're just sitting around on the couch, don't be drinking Gatorade. They do have low-calorie Gatorade, that is a better option, but maybe stick to water or something if you're just going to be sitting around kind of leisurely drinking. Salads are usually a good thing. It's just you need to watch out for the dressing. A lot of dressings are high in fat and sodium, so you want to make sure that you're either getting a low-fat or a low-sodium dressing to put on that salad. Otherwise, you're not even going to think about how unhealthy it might potentially be. And then some of these frozen food options, you hear like Lean Cuisine and Healthy Choice, and you think, oh, they have the word healthy and it must be good. And some of their recipes and options are good, but some of them aren't. So I just really want to stress, read the back, make sure that what you're getting doesn't have a lot of added sugar to it and sodium to help kind of enhance that taste. So again, just read those food labels. So that's like really the importance of this message, is that you really need to read the back of the labels, look at the ingredients, look at how many calories there are, look at how much fat and sugar is in everything. The FDA, Food and Drug Administration, actually on their